Today is January 6th and it's my wife's birthday today, and this is her Jeep, and I'm starting what I'm going to call Project 107. The reason why is because I'm going to extend her wheelbase to 107 inches. It's 103 right now. I'm going to move her front axle forward 4 inches so that it will be slightly past the bumper. Her rear axle has been moved back 9 inches, which works out pretty good, but her steering does not work very well right now. I relocated the steering box with a TNT custom steering box relocation kit for a Jeep TJ, and I like it, it's great, but it didn't work well with the axle in the stock location, and the kit that I put on was set up for that, so that's why I did it. Anyway, the steering's never been very good on this Jeep, and she's struggled with it since she's had it, so it's time to fix it. Problem is, I had to use that Pitman arm, and it was actually a drop Pitman arm. Heated it up, flattened it out under a press a few times to get it so I could reach it back as far as I could. And then over here I had to put that mega long steering arm on there to make the drag link work, and as a result of all this, her steering is not very good, or right steering. She can't turn very sharp, so all of this is going to be redone. I'm going to cut everything off the axle, which is a G2 Dana 44. G244, whatever. I'm kind of worried about its strength, but for now it's going to stay under there. But I'm going to cut all the bracketry off, which is pretty thin. Put all Genright suspension brackets on it. Move the axle forward. These nice rock crawler angled up control arms aren't going to work, so I'm going to have to build some new ones. I'm going to reuse the coilovers. Other than that, everything's going to be redone. So I'm going to try to update every week or so on how it's going. I'm going to be working hopefully on it a lot so I can get it done as quick as possible. So until then, talk at you later. All right, so welcome back to Project 107. It's been 1 week, and so far I've gotten everything disassembled and all the bracketry cut off. This is where the shock buckets were. Everything's cut off the axle. This upper control arm mount we're going to reuse, so that's the only thing I didn't have to cut off. So everything's ready to start mocking up the new suspension. Now, if you come over here, and this is how much stuff I cut off of there. All that steel. So, this is the old coilover. We're going to reuse these, but upon taking them off, we found out these were worn out. All 4 of them, 2 on each coilover, they're all worn out. So we're going to replace those. So that's on the list. We've already ordered the swivels, so they'll be here soon. These, that's the shock tower, and I'm going to reuse those, so we're going to cut this off here, and then I got to clean this up so we can make it work. So, got to do that yet. Then up here, alright, this is the upper control arm. We're going to reuse this end. I'm going to actually keep this whole thing, but if you look, this joint right here, it's worn out. Almost all the joints on the suspension were worn out. So I'm going to replace this, but this arm here, I'm going to try to extend it and reuse it, but make it longer. See if I can make it work. The lower control arms, we're replacing them. I've got new 2-inch quarter wall DOM tubing for that. This one here, this joint's still good. This one's worn out. So I'll be able to reuse that, replace that. At this end, these are both good. These are still nice and tight. I'm going to reuse these, so I have to cut this off and weld them onto my new tubing. I think I'm going to disassemble these. There's a special tool you need to disassemble these, and I don't know if I can get it apart, but if I can, I'm going to, and clean it real good, grease it real good, and then that way when I cut this, there won't be any Teflon or anything in there that'll melt when I weld that back on. So some measuring, let's go back over here. Right now the axle's sitting in the stock location. I never moved it. So we're going to move it forward to its new location, and we'll start doing measuring. So that's what's in store for today, and that's how far we are on Project 107.
Cool. See you guys soon.
Mm-hmm. Hello everybody, we're going to do an update on our Project 107, and this is what the axle looks like so far. I've gotten a lot of the bracketry. The bridge is all done, the truss is done, upper control arm. In one of the previous videos I said we were going to keep the factory upper control arm mount, but I ended up cutting it off because it was 2 inches lower than this, and I would have had to hang the lower control arm brackets lower on the axle, and I didn't want that. I wanted them to be up nice and high like this so they won't hit on anything. So from here, from the lower control arm to the upper control arm, there needs to be an 8-inch difference so that it can securely hold the axle. So that's why I raised that up, so we could raise the lower control arm mount up out of the way. So that's done. This is all going to have to be finished welding. It's all just tack welded. Kayla's going to do the welding.
Woo woo.
So she'll be starting on that soon. And if you look over here, I've got the upper control arm made. If you remember in one of the previous videos, I said I was going to extend it. This is 1.5 inch solid bar. This is a 2-inch quarter wall. So I put this in the lathe, and I had to take off about 1/16 of an inch so it would slide in there. I've got a 4-inch overlap right here, so it should be plenty strong. We're going to weld all this. So anyway, that's the length. Upper control arm is done. Just got to finish welding it together. And now my next thing I got to do tomorrow is start building the lower control arms. Oh, and we got these too. These little things right here, pretty cool. Those are for this. I showed you in another previous video too that these were worn out, so we can go ahead and do that too. Put all the new ones in.
Just waiting on one more thing in the mail.
We're waiting on the rebuild kit for these. And let me show you this. This little socket is from Rock Crawlers for taking this off. It's pretty cool. I took apart the other straight joints, and this is, so the socket unscrews this part of it right there. So the socket fits in there. They came apart real easy. So
they're pretty dry in there.
Yeah,
though.
These we're going to reuse. They're still in good shape, but they're really dirty and dry. So I'm going to take the polyurethane off, clean them really good, put it all back together, and then put the appropriate grease in there. So got to do that yet too. All right, that's about it. So control arms, after that's all done, which I should be able to get done this week, then we'll start on the steering and the track bar.
Yeah. We're going to double check some measurements, and then we're going to flip the axle over, and I'm going to get started stitching her up. Thank you guys for watching our Project 107 update. See you guys later.